Fearless Disease.
Even though President Trump claims to have ended this 30-year war, you can tell how much the Congolese and Rwandan presidents don't trust each other based on what they said. President Paul Kagame essentially said if this deal falls apart, it will not be his fault, that Rwanda is committed to it.
The responsibility will not lie with President Trump, but with ourselves.
President Felix Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of Congo shot back in his speech, essentially saying that he hopes Rwanda is committed to this deal this time.
We do hope that thanks with the same seriousness that the Republic of Rwanda will also respect fully the letter and the spirit of the commitments made here in Washington.
The elephant in the room is the M23 rebel group, allegedly backed by Rwanda. Rwanda denies that, but they're not a party to this deal. When I spoke to their leadership in September in Goma, they said they don't trust President Tshisekedi. They called him a crook, and that he's gone back on every deal he's signed so far. They don't think this will be any different. There's a separate mediation process led by Qatar that's going on in Doha. So that's one big question. The other big question here is critical minerals.
We're going to take...
It's very true. There's been war over there in Africa for a long time, and America has been trying to help the dysfunction for a long time, a very long time, and they just don't trust each other. There's too many different countries. There's too many a lot of ego. So of course President Trump comes in and tries to waver things out, try to put into the books where you guys can be able to help each other. We be able to help you, be able to help them, but there's still a lot of frustration over there, and I like how President Trump is still going over there and still trying to help so they can end the wars, so they can be able to work in peace.
Take out some of the rare earth and take out some of the assets and pay, and everybody's going to make a lot of money.
Some Congolese and many Africans are critical of the U.S. for even getting involved here. They feel that President Trump only did this deal because of those critical minerals in the eastern DRC. People see that as the true intention here. There have been...
Of course, they're always going to try to find a negative side to it. They think the only reason why that Trump is, like you already heard, I'll reiterate again, that he wants to jump in because he wants to be able to get some of the minerals over there in Africa. I mean, nobody ever knows. Everybody has their own opinions. We don't know what's going on in the administration, we as the little guys. But I think maybe he might be trying to get some minerals over there. We've been getting minerals from other countries for a long time. Even if it was, what's the problem? If it's beneficial for Africa, either they're buying it or trying to help with the country, why not? Some things are not just always done out of just to be nice. Some people want some things back, especially as America, we're helping. They're using our tax dollars to help. Why wouldn't he try to find certain ways to be able to benefit America? If some of those minerals be able to help us over here, to helping them, we all are one people, right? So, even if it was true, what's the problem with that? That's always the questions that people never ask. But we do this here at Fearless. We think outside the box, and we're just being honest. What's the problem? I don't see a problem at all.
Many of the attempts to bring peace to the eastern DRC, the leader said more than 10 million people have died. 30 years of war. The African Union has tried. There's been processes in Nairobi, in Rwanda. These failed. So will this one succeed? Even though President Trump claims...
I mean, they're gonna try to make it seem like Trump is there just to be able to take things, like we said, not because he's really trying to help. That's just how it is. Look at some of these comments. Let's see what the people have to say. Let's get to the first comment. Africa's biggest enemy is America. I don't see that as being true. If it wasn't for America in some instances, they wouldn't survive. Let's just be honest. And of course, that comment got at least over 1,200, almost 1,300 likes. Man, I can believe that. I'm telling you right now, the Silent Dominion by D. Cross explains what nobody else will. It's scary how real it gets. Okay. But why is Rwanda accepting this deal, yet they deny anything to do with M23? That's very true. That's for another video, but that's very true. That's very true. So Rwanda is in war with the Congo. Yeah, they've been in war with the Congo. I mean, if you're paying attention to the news, they've been in war. They've been in war for years. For years. This is not highlighted here in America as much, but I can say this: it's never really highlighted in America because they think that every single time that we're trying to help anyone in Africa, that is only for a benefit from America, not like we're trying to do it out of our sheer goodness as being Americans. It's not highlighted a lot, but it's going to be highlighted more and more because, Big Bad Trump is in office now. It's minerals, guys. Minerals. Like I said, I explained it. There's nothing wrong with that. Why? Why wouldn't be a problem with that? If we help somebody, why can't we get anything in return? I'm not understanding. Why not? What's the problem? You pay for stuff all the time. You always get something in return, right? Give and receive. I don't get what the problem is. It doesn't make sense. Just because Trump is in office, that we can't be able to help somebody and receive something back. It doesn't make any sense. But I'll put this video in the link. This link in the description so you guys can check it out. As always, smash the like, tap the next video, subscribe, plus hit that bell. Cash App is in the description. Go ahead and donate if you're really rocking with us. See you on the next one. Stay rich, stay fearless.
28 minutes after the hour now, Venezuela once again accepting U.S. deportation flights after President Trump said the airspace above and around the country should be considered closed. The commander-in-chief doubling down on his mission to protect national security and stop the Maduro regime.
Venezuela sends us drugs, but Venezuela sends us people that they shouldn't be sending. They emptied their prisons into our country. They sent us killers, murderers. They sent us drug dealers at the highest level. They sent us gang members. They sent us people from their mental institutions. They emptied their mental institutions into our country.
So what can we expect to see from the administration next? White House Deputy Press Secretary Anna Kelly joins us now. Anna, thank you so much for joining us this morning. How are we to read this latest news when it comes to deportation flights? Is this an indication that tensions are cooling between the United States and Venezuela?
Well, look, the president and the entire administration have been consistent throughout all of this. Maduro is not the legitimate ruler of Venezuela. He is the leader of a narco-terrorist cartel. And as you played for your viewers here, the president reiterated that yesterday. They are sending the absolute worst of the worst into our country. Drug dealers, rapists, illegal aliens seeking to destroy our country with these illicit narcotics. And so this president hasn't taken any options off the table when it comes to carrying out his mandate to eliminate this scourge of illicit drugs coming into our homeland. Because remember, this president was resoundingly elected on a promise to deport illegal aliens and also to take on the cartels. That is something he promised all the way back in 2023. So he's going to continue to do that to protect families across the United States from these illicit narcotics that tragically are killing far too many people in our country.
The Wall Street. I mean, it makes sense, especially I'm in the black community, as you can tell. That we were always upset in the 80s and the 70s and all that. They were saying that the government always flooded the black communities with drugs and messed up our neighborhoods and everything. But as you see, Mr. Trump, or President Trump, is stopping one of the Venezuelan presidents from bringing in his people to come to the United States and sell their narcotics over here. You don't see that much of an outrage, at least especially from my community. But this is a good move on the president because he doesn't want to have Venezuela immigrants coming over selling their drugs over here and infiltrating our American people. And once again, another outrage from the citizens. And I'm glad that at least Fox News was able to talk about this topic because we're getting a lot of outrage out here. Let's continue.
Wall Street Journal op-ed that I'm about to read, really highlighting the fact that nothing is off the table. Quote, the high stakes in Venezuela. The president has assembled an invasion-sized naval force in the Caribbean, including a carrier task force. The political cover for this intimidation campaign is that Mr. Trump is fighting drug cartels, but you don't send 25% of the Navy's deployed warships, F-35 fighters, and thousands of Marines merely to blow up drug boats. So, Anna,
why wouldn't you do that? But you don't send 25% of the Navy's deployed warships, F-35 fighters, and thousands of Marines merely to blow up drug boats. Why not? that comes from the Wall Street Journal. So why are they fighting so much against Donald Trump when he wants to be able to, keep American citizens safe? Once again, we speak here about the truth. That's why we're fearless. And we're saying that no matter what Trump does, there's always a problem. Especially even when he's trying to help every single American citizen, whether you're red or blue, Democrat or Republican, he's trying to make sure everybody stays safe. So no matter what he does, whether it's good or bad, they want to be against it. Why not? We pay the military. Everybody's paying taxes, right? Paying taxes to go ahead and keep us safe. I say use them to go ahead and blow up the drug boats. Why not? I don't want the drugs here.
The question then becomes, what is the administration's next steps when it does come to Venezuela? And are boots on the ground an option?
Look, again, the president kind of reiterated that yesterday. The president has a number of options at his disposal. And again, he was resoundingly elected to take on the scourge of illicit narcotics. This is a resoundingly popular issue. I'm sure you remember all the way back during the Republican National Convention when he highlighted the tragic story of Ann Fundner. She lost her 15-year-old son to one pill laced with fentanyl. That's not acceptable. And so this president isn't taking anything off the table when it comes to eliminating the scourge of illicit drugs in our country. And of course, that includes striking these drug boats that carry, as the president says, drugs that can kill up to 25,000 people. Enough is enough. This president finally, after years of this, is taking decisive action to stop it.
Striking
25,000 people. These drugs are horrible. I mean, drugs, period. Unless, the legal drugs that they give us. But they said it was laced with fentanyl and killed many people. So he wants to stop as many illegal drugs into this country as possible. Stop fighting against the truth.
Drug boats, but also the president recently said that land strikes on drug cartels could be happening very soon. Give us an update on that. Could that be a possibility that could happen within the week?
Well, the president did say yesterday that it is a possibility, and I won't get ahead of him on any specific military actions. But again, this is a crisis in our country. Fentanyl is the #1 killer of Americans between the ages of 18 and 49. Enough is enough, and the president is tired of leaders who talk about this and don't take action. This president, in contrast, is taking decisive action. Of course, he already has secured the border, but we also need to carry out that massive deportation of illegal aliens, and we also need to strike these drug boats. The drugs are coming both by land and by sea, and so this president is tackling that issue on all fronts to make sure there is no way that these drugs can come into our homeland and kill Americans.
Meantime, the Department of Homeland Security announcing an immigration crackdown in New Orleans called Operation Catahoula Crunch. In a statement released by the DHS.
That makes a lot of sense. They're going towards the new deportations to New Orleans. So, I may talk about that as well. But this is very crucial. I'm glad he's doing this. We want to stop all these drugs. Like I said, between 18 and 35, the #1 drug that's killing Americans is fentanyl. And that's what Venezuelan immigrants are bringing over here. Not all of them, of course, but this is the portion of it that they want to go ahead and stop. And that's what Trump is using these boats and using our military to go ahead and stop this. So I say blow them up, not the people, but the boats. I don't want people to get too hurt, But we want to be able to make sure those drugs don't get into American soil. Very good. Smash that like, tap the next video, subscribe, hit the bell, hit that Cash App in the description, FearlessDisease. Thank you for always supporting the movement. See you on the next one. Stay rich, stay fearless.